Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Achievement Hunting 101. This is level 304. I am Big Al, and with me, as always, we have KooshMoose.
Howdy do.
And of course, alongside is Wild West.
Did anything happen while I was gone?
Well, you were on assignment.
I was. What was my assignment again? I forgot.
I think it was to make up an excuse to avoid going on the show. And then something happened
Done.
to my friend feed, and I saw your name a hell of a lot while you were supposed to be recording, sir.
Got lit up with
I
49er
mean,
stuff
yes, there were 49er logos everywhere
all day long.
all day long. Well, as I've mentioned the last couple of weeks, we have a Gamerscore challenge going on, but this is a subdued version of the Gamerscore challenge, in which you're not supposed to exhibit any unhealthy tendencies, Wild West. So if you happen to have a rundown of what the score is so far, that would be great.
I
If
do.
not, you can guess. Oh,
This is from 2 days ago because Chewy is, he's a parent. I know how that is. Things always go a little crazy.
apparently, yeah.
We had the Rebels led by Scaravese with 692,710 points. And Scaravese
How many
has
does? Yeah.
he has 127,875.
Wow.
And I believe he put out his blog the other day, and I read it, and he says he's shooting for 200 this month. So good luck to you. Um, and he's followed by Dude with the Face, Crazy, Chewy on Ice, Northern Lass, Mike Pitch, who already ran out of baby games, so he's struggling. MDP 73, the one and only Big L, and Matthew.
Me?
Those are the top. What is that? 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. Top 9 on the list. You did
How
make
many
it.
people are on the team?
Well, there's a lot more. This is just the top 9 for the Rebels.
Now, if I'm in the top 10, then this team's slacking. Because I only play like real games, no baby games.
You and Mike Pitch already ran out of baby games, so I know you're struggling
I
to
did. I did.
to get through the easy games.
I
Um,
did.
and then on the Empire, we are at 783,011 points because someone is, getting weird gamer score. Fug. Um,
Oh, fuck. Of course.
yeah, jeez. So I have 239,990 points. Fug has
What?
124,933. Rocker Dude, 124,520. And then we have Darkwing, Freaky RO, Vulgar Latin, our very own KooshMoose, who's killing it this month. XL The Rock, LX with 13,000. And then Enigma Gamer 77 finishes us out. So,
Oh, those are a lot of famous names here on the podcast.
yeah.
And also Rocker Dude. Interesting. Well, I'm going to press you. What motivated you to do this? And have you had these games sitting around waiting for the perfect opportunity? Did you just buy them all? Did
When
you cash
Chewy,
your taxes in? What happened here?
I did not spend a lot of money. I'll tell you that. I have
Oh,
about
yeah, only
90.
$10,000.
Yeah, only 10,000.
Okay.
About 90% of those games I would just pick up. I usually spend about 10 to 15 bucks every week on for sales, so I'll kind of peruse the lists
Mhm.
and just pick up the ones that are on sale. I did buy some games. I had some gift cards. I had some Bing rewards to help out with some of those easy visual novels that rarely go on sale. So I didn't spend more than 50 bucks on the list that I created for myself, but I don't know. I just Chewy, when Chewy came out with his thing, I thought about it. And I thought it'd be fun just to try one time in my life just to see how much gamer score I could get in one day. I wasn't going to go crazy on it and plan specifically, every little thing. I had just created a list myself after going through all the games that I owned and the ones I figured I was going to buy. And I just kind of created a list starting with the easiest ones, working their way up to the more not difficult ones, but just ones that would take a little bit more time. And so I just kind of went through that list and kind of made a plan. I was planning on doing it on Wednesday, but my boss texted me on Monday and said that I was probably going to have to work Wednesday and Thursday at least when I was trying to be on vacation. So I switched it to Tuesday because I figured, I'd have most of the day to do it. So I went to bed early on Monday and woke up at 5 a.m. on Tuesday and just played until midnight the next day. Took a break for lunch and dinner, but yeah, just kind of
You said bucket near the TV.
pretty much. Well, a lot of those easy games, especially the visual novels, they can kind of play themselves. So, you can take a break and walk
Well,
around
that's
while they're
bathroom
going.
time.
Yeah, bathroom time. That's taking a break. I made sure to get up and not just sit down for hours on end, but get up and walk
Oof.
around and everything. So,
Rolling through these now. Do you remember any of them? Like, does anything stick out as
Yeah.
good or fun?
well, I mean, you got the visual novels. Not, those are the easy ones. As far as fun things, no. I mean, nothing like groundbreaking. A lot of them are just platformers. They make a lot of platformers with those 3,000-4,000 Gs now that just kind of like Rabio and uh, games like that where you just kind of have to reach the end of the level and the levels are less than 30 seconds long and everything. So no, I mean a lot of them were games that I'd already started and just had the 1,000 out of 1,000 on it originally, and then they came up with title updates. All those East Asia games, so I had finished a lot of those ones up, like the reactor games, those little puzzle games. So nothing, nothing really great in all of them. I will say that. That's why I just don't do that. I don't really
Not
chase
even
gamer score.
not even the pizza delivery boy who saved the world, which is
That,
honest hand to
was
heart as
such
an actual game title.
that was such a weird one. I remember playing through that, and even though I was kind of going through this, I could read pretty fast and kind of catch the drift of it, and I was just chuckling like, how is this a game? Like it was just uh and then you had the radioactive dwarf one, which has a cheat that's like 10 seconds and you get all the achievements in it. It's weird.
Yeah, saw that one. What did
Yeah.
you play? You played Ammo Pigs. Was that any good?
I didn't actually play it. That was a chili dog game, so that had the chili dog cheat in there that could give you ammo, a god mode, all that stuff. So
Oh boy.
basically, you had to turn it off, or you had to save some chickens, and then you had to kill some chickens in there for the achievements, and so you had to turn off the god mode for that. But other than that, it was mostly just buying stuff. You just gave yourself your money, turned on god mode, went to where this stuff was, and then bought it, got the achievements, and moved on.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I mean, if you want some easy gamer score, the was it the beautiful Sakura game? What are they? Edge of Reality is a visual novel. There's 3 stacks of that. That's easy. If you want gamer score, what was the one I was looking at? Weeping Willow is another one that has 3 stacks. I've only done 2 of them. I think I have the Windows one still if I want to play it, but that's easy. But yeah, like I have Smart Moves, Caterpillar, ones that I've already started that on both of them that I just finished up. Balotran.
Oh, many Aries.
Oh yeah, I did Aries.
Oh
Aries was the first
gosh.
thing I did. I've had a lot of them saved up, and I did buy one of them. I think I bought one when it was on sale. The Calm Mind 2, I believe, and that was just I was just watching basketball or baseball or something on my computer and just kind of playing around on just kind of paying attention where the bird was flying and just moving it here and there to grab the stuff. Not really paying attention. I miss it.
And then I guess my last question is: are you? Well, I guess I shouldn't ask it on air because the other side might find out. But are you done for the month, or are you
I'm
still
not.
going?
I'm not. If you saw me today, I think I had about 4 or 5,000.
Okay,
Uh, no, I'm not. You got to make sure those rebels don't mount a comeback.
true.
Do you still like games?
I still do like games, but I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this for a long time.
every month.
No,
Um,
I
so
did
what's
plan
your
on
total? What
retiring.
was your? But what was the 1 day total? Did you say what that was?
Oh, 1 day total. Yeah, let me pull it up. I did save it for history just for fun. And this was with very little planning. So if you wanted to, you could definitely tweak this and get a lot more. Plus, I already had a lot of easy stuff done from when
Oh,
I was going for my million. But I did 155,360 points in 1 day.
wow. So
Not only that,
well,
but you
foof and
got
a half.
investigated. Is your name all cleared?
I did.
Oh, did you?
You
I
got
did.
investigated, didn't you?
Because like I
Wait,
thought
I
it would.
didn't hear this story.
I thought it'd
Tell
be
me.
pretty fun, So I was like, you know what, I'm actually going to shoot for the top of the leaderboard for TA weekly score. They give you a little medal it's on my TA page. So I about I think it was like 8 or 9 o'clock at night. I happened to go on my page while I was playing a game, and I looked at it at the top. Like a lot of my leaderboard stuff was gone, and I was like, "What the heck's going on?" And on the top right of my page, it said gamer set to non-stat tracking. And I was like, what the heck is this? And so like I go on to the forums on TA at the next day, and I was like, oh, looking at it, and I guess because I had earned so much gamer score in such a short amount of time that they just kind of it triggered their protocols and put me to non-stat tracking. So I figured like the next day, someone would reach out and say, hey, we're just gonna look at your stuff and clear it. And no one said anything Wednesday. So then on like Thursday, I like wrote something to the manager and I was like, hey, I was just trying to see, what was going on. I didn't do anything. I mean, the most iffy thing I did was, so cooking simulator on PC, you can find some stuff for that, but you definitely don't have to, you don't go in and change any files. So it's not against TA policy. And the other one was, grounded. I ended up getting the grounded saves from someone, and so those are the only two that were like close to being iffy, but they weren't against TA policy that I figured out or saw. So no, the TA managers still haven't messaged me at all, but it ended up getting cleared on Saturday night, I believe, or Sunday morning. So I was able to get that gold medal on my TA page for having the most gamer score and TA score for the week, and ended up in third place for TA difference somehow. So
It's kind of is it ironic or coincidence? We'll say coincidence that you got in trouble for a game called Grounded. It seems pretty funny.
yeah, I do still have those saves. So if people
Go to
want
your
them,
room.
if people want them, I'm going to keep it to
Did
game
you
installed for a while.
play any games this month?
Well, I told you,
I
I
mean, you
think.
had saves, you had chili dogs, you had visual novels. That doesn't sound like you actually played any games.
Well, I mean,
I mean,
I did the what's it called? The
I mean, if
platformers
Reactor
and
X was the
such.
hardest game you had to play, then you you did
That
okay.
was not the hardest game I had to play.
Oh,
I would say
I like
probably
that game, by the way.
Rabio, but Rabio's not even that hard. But Rabio was probably the hardest game. The
That's a
first,
game or a person?
it's a game.
Oh, Rabio. Oh, and there's a stack.
Yeah, there's a stack. Yep. Yeah, I bet you if you
That's
really
not
wanted to,
Eastasiasoft games.
I bet you
That's
if you really
cheating.
wanted to, you could probably get up to three or four hundred thousand dollars, three not dollars, 300, 400,000 gamer score in 1 day now.
Is that what you was giving the winner?
Yeah,
$300,000.
no pounds. Remember,
Whoopee
he's in.
treats. Oh.
Oh no,
I
he's
think
in
euros.
euros now. That's right, euros now. Yeah.
Yeah, he's in Scotland. I think that's pesos. I'm pretty sure.
I thought it was the franc, but oh well.
It's not a geography podcast. All right. Well, congratulations. I hope you had some fun or some, I don't know. You don't sound too regretful or that you wasted
No, I mean
most of your life.
it was fun. Just it was a one time thing. I mean, I talked with my wife. I did your game of the week the other week, Abs Animals during lunch. My wife got me some Chipotle, and so I just turned on Abs Animals and let the achievements roll in while I was eating my burrito and taking a break
Oh,
from that. So
Are you insinuating that Chipotle is made out of
No, I'm not insinuating
Uh,
Chipotle's made out of kitty
oh.
cats.
Oh, okay.
Looks like you might have been able to reclaim, I don't know, like 10 gigs of drive space.
Yeah.
After uninstalling these 200 or 300 games.
You know they're all 200 megs.
That's what I'm saying.
Not all of them. Some of those
Oh.
visual novels are pretty beefy. Those
And
Sakura
Grounded,
games.
you obviously played over the cloud, so that doesn't count.
It's out.
I did not play over the cloud. I still have it downloaded on my.
Oh, fail.
No one remembers that.
I remembered that.
Huh.
It's a huge download, so the way to play. Air quotes, play.
It looks like you need to make a new blog as well. You haven't had one in a while.
Yeah, I didn't do my games for. I like to do a game of the year thing every year, and I haven't done it yet.
Your last blog was from 2022. But you did hit those milestones, like you said. You finished number 1 for the week.
I did.
You
TA
want to be
cleared my
number 1
name.
for the
So.
day?
No,
Yeah,
I was number 1 for the day. I doubt anybody got that more than that day, but I wanted just to be it for the week, just the one time. Get my claim to fame for the one week.
Random Tuesday. Yep.
What's also funny is just by happenstance, you have like 800 achievements towards the targets for the month.
Yeah,
I don't know if you've even noticed.
I looked at I didn't even know I did the versus one because that was the one target. I was like, oh, I'm gonna have to put forth some effort to figure out some games for that. And then I looked at it the next day and I was like, it was gold, and I was like, oh, guess I'm good there.
You have 112 versus achievements, 146 secret achievements, and 432 achievements with the letters SOS in them. That's
Really
amazing. 432. I haven't even finished that one yet.
Well, you just gotta keep going because you are 4,000 as of whenever this spreadsheet came out. You're 4,000 behind a True Foof, which is Fufu's current gamer score, which is 244.
I'll have more in 2 weeks than he's had however long he's had his gamer tag.
Yes.
When we started the podcast, he was like 120. I don't remember. Wow. Okay. I'm sure I'll have some other questions along the way.
Bring him on.
I'm sure I will.
No shame.
No shame. No. I'm not
there's a contest
this time.
There's a contest going on, and if you're on the Empire team, then you have a contest. If you're on the Rebel team, then
oh boy,
keep hiding in your secret base.
I'm just sending Scaravesi games and hope that he plays them. I don't have time for this.
I doubt that. I don't believe that for a second. Unless you mean you're sending him links. That I would believe.
Here, play this game.
Right. Suggestions.
Here's a store link. Here, buy this. Play this.
Exactly. What do you think I meant?
Well, I knew that's what you meant. I wanted to clear up any confusion.
Oh, gosh. All right. Well, I imagine you've been playing something worth talking about, Nate.
Oh, I think so. Would you like me to talk about it?
I'm glad I asked.
All right. I played a game that's surprising no one is on Game Pass. It is Have a Nice Death.
Ooh.
Now, I had purchased this, and I think 2 weeks later they announced it was going to, 1 or 2 weeks later, they announced it was going to be on Game Pass, and I said, oh, hold up. And then went ahead and got my refund and then waited. So I've put about 5 hours into Have a Nice Death, and I'm here to say I really like it. Now, much like what was the you know how movies tend to get released and there's like 2 of them at the same time that are very similar, like gosh, what was the one with the
Oppenheimer?
meteor? No, not Oppenheimer. And
go
Barbie.
ahead. We talked about this. I'll let Jameson say it.
Yeah. I didn't hear his statement because you were talking L.
When sometimes a movie will come out and there'll be like 2 of them. It'll be like Cliffhanger.
Armageddon and
yeah,
what's the other
Deep
one
Impact.
called? Deep
Yeah, Armageddon and Deep Impact. So, there's just this idea out there, or I don't know, or someone infringed on someone else's rights, and they put out a very similar type game at the same time. For me, that was Have a Nice Death and Death or Treat. They're both kind of very similar and both kind of around the same time is when I learned about both of them. Death or Treat.
Deep Impact, by the way.
Death or Treat is a action adventure, and it looks okay, but it doesn't play very great. It's not very good. Not when compared to Have a Nice Death. Now, Have a Nice Death is a good game. I really enjoy this. And it kind of reminds me of Hades crossed with Dead Cells. It is
What?
I think it's worthy of that comparison. That's how much I like this. You play as the Grim Reaper, Death, and there's this really cool intro video when you first started, a run, or I should say game, a save file. You'll see like this little intro. You'll see that Death is doing his thing. He's going around, he's collecting souls, he's reaping, and he just gets kind of tired of his job. So he then comes up with this bright idea. Okay, I'm going to outsource this to my minions. And then I'm just going to do whatever. I'm just going to take it easy, relax, sit in an office, take it easy, and just, stamp paperwork. So he does that, and his minions go out and get kind of out of control, and they just start reaping way more souls than they're supposed to. So after a certain amount of time, Death is like, okay, what's up? I'm taking over the reins again. And in that time, he's kind of atrophied. So he went from like a really tall Grim Reaper to this really short Grim Reaper. And so you're kind of running around as this diminutive Grim Reaper with your scythe, and kind of cute looking. So you're just not like this huge. I guess it kind of explains the sprite size or whatever. And it looks great. The art style is really good. The animations are really good. And the game plays like a side-scrolling hack and slash roguelite or roguelite, because you will be going multiple times. You're going to go out, you're going to die, you're going to go out, you're going to die, you're going to make progress every time. Every time you play the game, you are making progress towards something, which feels good. A lot of these times you'll play, this type of roguelite, you'll play a little bit and you'll feel like you made no progress. But this game does a good job of showing you the progress that you've made. You may not get like something brand new, but you'll see the progress you made towards those things. And the way they do that is there's all kinds of things that you're working towards, all kinds of unlocks. There's your general level, and you'll get that just by killing more things, doing things, and your score at the end of a run goes towards your general level. As you hit certain like tiers, you'll get a brand new level, and you'll get some sort of unlock that's supposed to make the game a little bit easier. It might unlock a new type of curse. And in this game, curse is a good thing. Curse is a passive bonus that gets attached to weapons as you're playing through. Or it'll give you more money per kill, those sorts of things. So the more you play, the more your general level goes up. But also, making kills with certain weapons will unlock better versions in that weapon tree. So, or completely new weapons. Like you'll use, if you kill like 100 enemies with a hammer, you'll get like this mega hammer or something, or it'll open up axes or something like that. So you get the idea. But you'll actually see that progress as you're going along. And so every run just feels like, okay, sweet, I did something. I made some sort of progress. Even though I didn't make it all the way to the end of the game, even though I only killed one boss, two bosses, I definitely made progress. At the start of every run, kind of like Hades, you're in your home base, and you're able to talk to people, and those people will comment on your last failed run. Like they might say something about a weapon that you used, they might say something about the boss that killed you, but it kind of knows how that last run went, and they have these key phrases or key lines of dialogue that they'll say. So it's pretty cool that it kind of remembers that. They obviously put a little bit of extra time and polish in to get that. The combat is pretty fast and fluid. The attack patterns for enemies, basic enemies, is not that difficult to understand. The bosses are really fun. I should say that their attacks are more fun than the standard people. And it seems, as of a run I did today, that bosses can sometimes, I guess, improve. So, like the very first boss that you beat, his attack patterns changed probably like the sixth time I beat him. He came in and he was a completely different version of himself. I think before he started off, what did he look like even before? I can't remember. But when you beat him, he puts on a suit and he looks like you know, like a Secret Service agent. And then when I got into this time, this sixth run or the seventh run, after I'd beaten him 5 times, he was wearing the suit that he wore when he left. So he's like serious business now. I was like, oh, that's interesting. And his attack patterns were different and they were a little more difficult. And I was like, oh, okay. So this game definitely has something going on there. And I think Hades did something like that too. I think that some of the bosses would kind of change their patterns or get stronger as the game went along. There's a difficulty mode, so you can play on regular difficulty, and that is pretty hard. Or you can kind of dumb it down a little bit, give yourself a few more breaks. Also, Dead Cells has that, Hades has that, and what that does is gives you a little more health. It lowers the HP of enemies, it lowers the damage of enemies, gives you more healing flasks, those sorts of things. But there's an achievement for beating the game on the highest difficulty. I think you have to do that without that easy mode. I'm not sure about that. I haven't gone that far into the game to be able to tell that. But as you're playing through, you'll and you finish a level, you'll have a chance to pick where you want to go next. Sometimes that'll be like 2 different places you can go, 3 different places. One of them might be a pathway that'll give you more money. Another might be an upgrade for a certain type of weapon. Another might be healing, and then another one might be a middle management, which is a mini boss. And there's reasons you want to go fight those mini bosses is because if you beat them a certain number of times, that could unlock a new type of weapon or a new type of attack or something like that. So there's definitely good reasons to go do that. When you beat a boss, you can then start from that boss again on any future run. You just go and take an elevator, and that'll take you to that boss. You kill that boss. I don't know if it'll let you skip 2 levels. Like you may have to go fight the boss, then go take the elevator to the next boss. So you could just do a boss run basically, if you wanted to, if you got far enough along. But the game is really great. It is challenging, or it will be challenging to get the completion because of those 1 or 2 achievements. The other achievements that you'll have are basically, you'll get them as you go along. You'll get them for finishing narrative quests. Like one of them, I just finished a Halloween themed quest. I think I finished a Christmas quest before that, which is weird. You'll be unlocking, or you get achievements for unlocking weapons, for unlocking all the scythe upgrades, for unlocking all the weapons, for unlocking all the spells, the curses, and for getting a lore item for every single thing in the game. You get achievements for beating bosses for the first time, for beating the game the first time, and then finally for beating the game on the maximum difficulty, which according to my research could take 15 completions, 15 full runs to complete, where each one is successively more difficult. And I think Hades did something like that, but I'm not positive because I haven't completely finished that yet. I know Dead Cells had that mechanic where you could have different, you could up the difficulty, and then that would unlock the next difficulty level to complete the game. So very similar to that in that way. But yeah, if you like those games and you like the challenge of those games, you should definitely check out Have a Nice Day.
Yeah, the achievement list looks definitely difficult.
No, I wouldn't say it looks difficult. Just that one achievement
Oh,
to me looks difficult.
how long has it been on Game Pass for? A couple weeks? Because it's already got 33,000 starters, and
Yeah, it's
right
been
now
on
it's
Game
at
Pass for,
14,000 TA.
I'm gonna say about 3
So it's
weeks.
probably easy to get on the tag. Yeah, it's definitely probably easy to get on the tag, and then oh yeah, achievement for dying once.
Yeah, I think the first achievement was for dying. It was my first achievement. Gaining a curse. So that's like an upgrade. And then there's one for dying as well. So yeah,
Right.
it's pretty easy.
I mean, you by far have the most TA score of any of my friends with whopping 347. I had a 14,000. So I wonder if people are intimidated by this one, or if it's just really if they're getting their butts kicked. I mean, it has 23 completions, and the people that completed it put an estimate of 60 to 80 hours.
Yeah, looks like it's got
But in a
68.
roguelite, that's not bad. Because
Yeah.
you're expected to do multiple runs.
Yep.
I'm going to show this to my son. We're just about done with Hades. There's a lot of RNG involved,
Yeah, and
getting the right
apparently
dialogues to come and stuff like that. But we're
apparently
finally getting to that point where we're almost done.
apparently beating the maximum difficulty is also kind of RNG dependent in this game. Like you have to get good rolls, or maybe
Oh yeah.
you just choose to only buy the things, buy the unlocks that you think are most helpful. So you don't widen that pool of things that could come up. So you're basically reducing the randomness by only unlocking things that you know you want.
Did you say you started on normal, or did you go right to easy?
Well, I typically start on normal and then back things down. So I did a couple runs on normal, and then I was like, okay, well, what is this easy mode all about? So then I lowered that, and I was like, oh, okay, so this is like
So
the other modes. So yeah.
so did the game yell at you? I'm reading this review on Xbox, and it says, "I did so bad the game told me to go to easy mode. Still really fun though." That's the review.
Well, I wouldn't say it yells at you. A lot of games do that.
You
Or
suck.
make
You
or make
suck. Go to easy.
Yeah, no, a lot of games do that, and
just
I wouldn't say they yelled. No.
no. It said KooshMoose, really? There's a lot of people saying there's like glitches and like crashes. Have you been okay?
Yeah, I haven't run into any big issues yet. I'm just no issues. Maybe I
Okay.
waited, or I mean, the game has been out for a while, right? You could buy it. It was out before
Yeah.
it was on Game Pass, so it's had some time. See, it
Not too
released
long.
December of last year, so it's been
Yeah,
out for
not
almost
too
6
long.
months.
So it sounds like you've been enjoying it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
definitely have to
definitely
show
do.
it to
This is
the
no game that you're going to slam out, in a day when you take off work. You're going to
oh no.
have to put in some time.
This is not one that you want to hear you and Freem talk about with 2 weeks left in Game Pass.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's going to complete this with 2 weeks notice. I mean, if they do, they're not going to be playing anything else. And yeah,
Yeah.
this is a nice. I'm going to play this. I'm going to play a run or a couple runs a week, and just kind of keep my skills from deteriorating, and just chip away at it. And it's not bad. Like a run will take me about 20 to 30 minutes, if I'm doing really well right now.
Mhm.
If I have a really bad run, which hasn't really happened yet. I haven't had any like horrible runs yet. Yeah, you have to isolate that, play that back later. I haven't had any really bad attempts at the game just yet. But yeah,
Well,
We
excuse
haven't
us, Mr.
talked about Taco Bell in
KooshMoose.
a while.
I haven't had a bad run, so.
Yeah.
And I know you kind of talked a little bit about it, but I don't know if you said it specifically. Does it have like an accessibility mode like Hades, or is it just you play on easy or normal?
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think it had any accessibility options.
Okay.
Aside from what do they call it? Self-fulfillment mode. Which is like in Hades when you knock it down a level, and it's like, okay, well, every time you die, the game gets a little bit easier. Like make it a
Yeah.
little bit easier. I think that is kind of analogous to the self-fulfillment mode. I didn't see anything in the for accessibility that I remember, but I can go back and check.
Yeah, I know you were talking a lot about Hades and Dead Cell comparisons and everything, so I was just kind of curious if it had like that a similar thing to help you out, but
I wouldn't be
yeah.
surprised if it gets added later.
Yeah, I should say that the tone is humorous. So it's not like super
Okay.
serious, and I mean, yes,
Okay,
the
yeah.
subject is Grim Reapers and death, but the tone is they do not take themselves super seriously.
Yeah, that's In Hades, you're ostensibly dying over and over, and that's kind of a joke also. Like, yeah, it's par for the course. But definitely a game like this needs good characters and good fun to go along with it. Otherwise, it's just, if it's gameplay or nothing, like you need that extra spice of a good charisma, good
I mean,
characters.
it's definitely got charisma, and like, just if you just look at the
Yeah.
graphic style on it, like it's got a lot of polish. It's got a lot of, care to it. It's not just slapped out there. It's they've taken their time with it. I don't believe there's no accessibility options aside from that one mode.
I mean, if enough people play it and hound the devs, you never know. Jameson is tweeting them right now to add easy mode, accessibility modes, COD modes. I want to finish this while I go to the bathroom mode.
Yeah, give it that good
So you
old
write this
chili
down for next year.
It was that good old chili dog code in there.
Yeah, we need some cheat
Autocomplete,
codes and some
autocomplete a
console
run.
commands. Yes. Oh gosh. Have a nice death. Play it on your computer. PC Game Pass also.
Oh,
And
any kind of touch
I'm
controls
not
or anything?
Oh,
doubt it.
I would never play a game like this with touch controls.
No.
Because of the combat, and yeah, I mean, maybe it has them, but you're gonna want a controller.
I'm not going to ask you if you would spend $25 on this game. I know what you're going to say.
I already kind of did.
Oh, yeah. Well, you didn't
Yeah.
spend the full, did you?
No, I
thought you
did.
got
Of
on
course, I
sale.
didn't pay full price. The lowest price it was
Okay.
ever at was $17 or $16.74.
Well, that changes everything.
Yeah, I think I picked it up at like 17. So
Yeah.
yeah, and I thought it was worth it. I
But
mean, it's a
you got
solid
your money
game.
back, so
Yeah.
you're good. You're good. All right. Well, we'll find that was Have a Nice Death. And we will talk to someone who's going to be talking about a game that's definitely not worth $25, I don't think. I don't know. I'm just guessing because he played only easy games this month. Wild West, what do you got for us?
All right. Yeah, it was definitely hard. I was thinking of a game that I could talk about, and one to bring to the panel, to bring to the podcast. That was a game that I actually played that I could actually review instead of just, hey, I turned on this visual novel and turned on all the text to auto and skip ahead and everything and just went to the end, or I played this quick platform or anything. But I did play a game this. I think it was about 2 weeks ago. And I had a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun with it, a lot more fun than I thought I would. And it is called Flying Soldiers. This is a puzzle game where you kind of create a little obstacle course for different birds. The birds start out in this little box at the beginning of the level, and they I believe they're all in different lines. So there's kind of like three. If you think of it, it's like three raceways. And so when you would start the puzzle or start the game, the birds are just going to go straight. They can't move. You can't have them with your controller move to avoid any kind of death or to grab items or anything on the course. They just go straight unless during the warm up you place down some obstacles like some trampolines. You can put some barricades in there that'll force them to a different lane. So you can do that. But once they start going, they're just going to go straight all the time. They're not going to move at all. And so the object is to get from the beginning of the course to the end of the course, and you want to save all three birds and you want to collect all three coins. You don't have to do them all in one run. I found that out about halfway through playing this. There was one time, one level that I was playing, and I accidentally killed the bird. I thought I had everything set right. I killed a bird, but I had gotten all the coins, and so when I went back, the coins were already saved as received for that level, and so I just had to save the birds. And so you can go through and just kind of save the birds one time and collect the coins another time if you want to, because there are achievements attached to getting all the birds saved and all the coins and everything. If you get all the birds saved and all the coins saved in a level, it'll give you a gold a gold star. I think you get 3 gold stars, and so you have to complete all the levels on gold with the gold rating to be able to get the last achievement, which is for completing the 45th level with the gold award. As you play it, they kind of have different seasons that you play on. So you start out with kind of a spring level, and then you have some ice levels in the snow. You have fall levels and everything. It doesn't really change the gameplay much, but that's the kind of gameplay they have in there. As you also go through the different levels, I believe it was like a level 15 or 16 or somewhere in there, you get access to a different bird. So the first few levels are pretty easy. You can collect the coins pretty easy. You can get the bird saved. You don't without having them to do much. But then as you progress through it, you'll get access to different items that you can place down on the level to have them collect the coins. Because sometimes the coins are going to be high up in the air, so you need to place a trampoline. So the bird will run over the trampoline. It'll obviously it'll jump up and collect that coin, and then it'll kind of glide back down to the level and then finish it or continue it on its line. But then you get access to some different birds called like a special ops bird, and then you get access to another bird that is called, I'm trying to think, special forces. So those birds will do different things. The special forces bird can run through certain obstacles or rocks that are placed in its way. And then the special ops bird, I believe, is just faster. So it can help you kind of go through some obstacles a little bit faster, because sometimes they'll have some timed obstacles on there, like traps or different things like that you want to try to get through fast before the trap activates. And so the special ops bird will help out with that. But yeah, pretty much the achievements are pretty easy. I mean, there's one for placing different objects on the map that'll help your bird collect the coins or direct them into a different lane of traffic. So if you do that a bunch of times, you'll get that achievement. You'll get achievement for collecting the stars and saving the birds. Um, what I just thought of something and then I lost it. See if it comes back. But yeah, so that's pretty much most of them. There's like 45 levels, I believe, in the game. So each level, doesn't take too long. You can kind of well, I guess yeah. So you'll place your bird down, or you'll place your objects down, and then you can start the level. And then as you're playing, you can switch to different birds and watch them play or help them go. Because one of the objects that you can place down is like a barrier that will stop them completely. Because maybe you want another bird to go through and activate a trap or something like that, and then after that bird is saved or is stopped in later on in the level, you can go to that first bird and open the gate and allow them to start going to either collect a coin or something like that. So you can kind of do a little bit of manipulation while you're going through the levels, but for the most part, they basically the birds just go straight to the end of the map, and you'll get your coins there, or you'll save them or whatever, and then you move on to the next one, and they just get progressively harder, just like any other puzzle game. And I had a lot of fun with it. I bought it when it was on sale for $3. That's the cheapest it's ever been. It runs for $9.99, which, as much fun as I had with it, I think I would recommend it at that price. But I think it does go on sale pretty often at $3, and I would definitely recommend it at that price for anybody that loves puzzle games. You can kind of chip away. The achievements come fairly quickly. There's 24 of them, and it took me about 2 hours to do the whole thing. It looks like it's an hour to two, depending on if you're able to pick up those coins and save the birds pretty quickly as you go through the levels. I had a lot more fun with it than I thought I would. So I would definitely recommend Flying Soldiers.
Wow. Yeah, the look of the game, um, the way, not the game itself, with when you're trying to buy the game, like the way the graphic of the store, what do you call that? Like
Like like
the
when you're
picture
playing.
you see, like if you're going to buy the game, you see the picture of it in
Oh
your,
yeah, yeah, like on your TA page. Is that what you're talking about?
sure,
Sure.
or in the store, yeah.
Okay.
So what it looks like to me, so you see three birds, like what it looks like to me is they're trying to get you to think that it's an Angry Birds game.
Yeah.
That's what I was trying to say.
Okay, gotcha. I can see that.
Yeah, like some games trick you like that. But then you go in and you're like, oh, it's not that at all.
No, I would definitely say it's kind of one of those niche games because it's only got 384 starters on it, so not very low count. But I had a lot of fun with it.
Well, I put it on my wish list. So if it hits 249 again, that's fair for 2 hour game.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm surprised you played such a long game in your Gamerscore month. 2 hours.
That was at the beginning of the month when I was trying to get some of those hour-long games out of my backlog. I don't know when I bought this, uh, but it was on my spreadsheet, so I was going through those hour-long games, and I was gonna save the easy ones for the day that I was gonna do, and did the ones that were a little bit longer throughout the rest of the month.
Okay. Flying Soldiers was the game, and I guess it's my turn. So I actually completed a game a couple of weeks ago, and I forgot to talk about it 2 podcasts in a row because my brain is on vacation. And I was playing Goat Simulator 3 with Michelle and with Rocker, and it is complete now. So what I wanted to say is that we had a great time. I recommend that in co-op for anybody, but I wanted to talk in particular about one achievement, which is the Instincts achievement, complete all instincts, which is the highest ratio achievement in the game. We found out that if one person gets the achievement, the other players, um, we weren't sure exactly. So there was this guy Dish. Dish has been completing like the Call of Duty series and a bunch of stuff. He shows up in Brag Camp all the time, and he completed Goat Simulator. And he said, "Oh, my friends got me the Instincts achievement." So I said, "You know what, guys? I'll be the one. I'll get the Instincts, and then you guys, the achievement will pop for you guys." And then I got the achievement, and it didn't pop for them. So then I went on TA, and someone said, "Oh yeah, just have them slip on a banana peel, and the achievement will pop for them." And we're like, "Okay, that sounds stupid." But sure enough, they both found the banana peel, slipped on it, and the achievements popped for them. So this achievement is a 5.2 ratio. So I'm offering this achievement to anybody who wants it for a week. If you want it, I will try to get it for you. I have this on my tag. I mean, I still have it on my Xbox. I did not uninstall it. So if you want to slip on a banana peel and get this achievement, I will offer this to you for a week. I've had it for long enough on my Xbox. So I'm offering that out there to anybody who needs it. Even for you two guys on the opposing squad.
I'll hit you up in a year, and you can reinstall it for me.
I would do it for you. Even though Koosh is yelling, you could just hit inside the cloud, damn it. I know Koosh is yelling in the background.
Oh, he has his mic mute because he doesn't want to hear us yelling. Hear him yelling.
It's true.
I'm not talking about a sports game. You could listen. So I wanted to talk about a couple of different games this week. The first game I wanted to talk about was what was intended to be my contribution to Easy Games Month. And it's a game I brought up in the sales a week or two ago called Ball Lab. And I was commenting how, ball and lab, if you read, it's like radar, it's front and back, it's the same spelling. And then I'm like, oh, wait, there's a 2 after it. So what wound up happening is I wound up playing Ball Lab 2 first, because that's where 3,000 gamer score. And if you look quickly on TA, it says, oh, completion estimate is half an hour to an hour. What I didn't realize is that's just for the base game. And the title update is significantly longer because it makes you go all the way up to level 40, where the base game had you just go up to level 25. So basically, as Elroy would say, this is a plat failer. If you guys want to watch some videos for it, basically you play as a ball and you platform as the ball and you're jumping on platforms and you're avoiding spikes and you're getting to the exit. And the game starts off very easy and gets significantly harder as you go. So this is an Eastasiasoft game, and I got to be honest, I'm scared if they add more achievements because this got pretty hard towards the end. And this game did something to me that no game has done in a long time. It pretty much broke me. Uh, I stayed up until like 4 in the morning one night, and I finished level 38. And I said, just 2 more levels, just 2 more levels. I could do this. And then I said, you know what? I'm going to bed. And then the next day I woke up and I finished them. So looking at the ratios, like it's only like a 1.45 ratio, but it's 513 people out of 1,000. Wow, it's only half. Jeez, you guys are good. You guys are good. This ball lab broke me, guys. I was hoping you guys had played it, but I don't think you guys have.
No, I did the
I want you
first
guys
one, I
to play
think,
this.
but not the second one.
You have to play the second one after playing the first one. So I went back and played the first one after, and the first one is so minimalistic. It's more like one little screen, and then like little ones open up. And that one was published by Retalika, I think. So that one was capped at 1,000. But Ball Lab 2 is 3,000 right now.
Oh, jeez.
And the music is way um the music's better, the graphics are better, it's just way better than the first one. But it's done by this one guy, Victor Yurchuk. So I really enjoyed it. Even though it kind of broke me and it was hard. Took me several hours. This estimate of like a couple hours is not right. So that's Ball Lab 1 and 2. And Ball Lab 2 is only $4.99. I think when I mentioned it, it was on sale for like $1 or something. Yeah. Mm, that was $3.49. First one must have been $1. And then I picked up another Eastasiasoft game called Ayo the Clown, AYO. And this game is interesting because it's another Eastasiasoft game. But I get the feeling people picked it up because they saw Eastasiasoft game. And what they didn't expect is that this is a full-fledged game.
Oh, really?
Yes. It's got a completion estimate of 8 to 10 hours. It is a 2D platformer akin to old school Mario. You play as a clown,
Really?
and there's a lot of circus themed levels. It's very colorful. The hook of this game is kind of got like a little double jump where you hit A to jump, and then when you hold down A, you have a balloon in your hand, so you kind of glide to the next platform. So which Mario game was it where Yoshi kind of did that? And you hear Yoshi go, "Ugh," and then he kind of like struggles and he jumps up there. Was that like? I'm sure you guys know what I'm talking about. Big Nintendo fans that you are. No?
I
Okay.
feel like 2.
So
I feel like 2.
is that familiar?
Yeah.
It was like Super Nintendo era, for sure. So basically, you go through the levels, and there's the same overworld map like a Mario game. You go to 1-1, 1-2, 1-3, 1-4, and then there's a boss on 1-4, and then the same thing, a 2-1, 2-2, and then there's a different theme of each world. There's actually full-fledged cutscenes with voice acting, which surprised me. There's throughout the levels to break up the monotony a little. You can transform into a tank or a helicopter or like a Godzilla monster. There's different things you turn into, and break up the monotony of just a basic platforming. But aside from that, it's just a normal, competent 2D platformer. The game has collectibles. So each level has 3 teddy bears and 3 lollipops to find, which basically means you're going through different paths or you're jumping through invisible walls. But they're usually easy to find because you'll see like gems touching the wall and you jump for the gems and you will jump through the wall and find them. However, you don't need to find them for the achievements, as I discovered about halfway through. I did a little research, and it looks like the Steam version, you need to collect all the collectibles. But they did dumb it down for the Xbox a little bit. You don't need the collectibles for the achievements. So it's one of those weird things where if I see them, I go for them. But if I didn't get them all, I don't repeat the level. So it's like a kind of a half OCD type of a thing. It's weird. Like normally I would go for them all, but the game is I'm almost done with it. I just finished the 6th out of 8 bosses, and I'm ready to put this one to bed. But I am enjoying it.
What do you do for the bosses? Like, are you hitting them or on the head? Kind of thing?
So that's they're all different. So like the last one was like this huge like s'mores was attacking me, and you avoid it's all pattern based. You avoid their attacks and you jump on their head. Yeah, that's basically what it is.
Yeah.
And they've all taken 3 hits to be killed. And you amass gems. There's gems everywhere. You're getting gems. And then there's an achievement for buying something for 25,000 gems. So you don't really need to grind or anything. You get them as they come.
Gotcha.
And then as you progress in the game, there's a town in the beginning and different people in the town ask you to do stuff. So there's actually a little bit of post-game stuff after you beat the game. You can go back to some previous levels and do these tasks for people and get some more. And those are all the rare achievements are in there. So this game has such a high ratio, like I said, because I think people just got the first achievement. I have a lot of friends that just have the first achievement and then that's it. So I don't know if they were expecting something else because it's Eastasiasoft. But with that said, the price is $20
Oh,
for
jeez.
this game. Yeah, it's been on sale as low as $7.99, which I think is a better price. And it's been out a couple of years already. So if you like platformers, you could do much worse than Ayo the Clown. For $8 to $10, I would grab it. You'll get 8 to 10 hours out of it. So $1 an hour. Like I said about going back to earlier levels, there's actually some what do you call that gating a little bit. So I went back to the first level. The first level of the whole game, you like there's a wall you can't quite go under yet. So you unlock sliding. So like in Mega Man 3, Nate, when you slide, and it's kind of like that. So you unlock different abilities and you go back to earlier levels and you find stuff. So I think that's very cool when games do that. Not quite Vayner, but kind of the same idea of backtracking with gated abilities. But the game isn't difficult overall. The achievements are straightforward, nothing missable. And it's worth 1700 TA right now. And that's Ayo the Clown. Okay. We are ready for sales. Koosh, got any tabs open?
I do. Flow Lines versus $2 down from $5. This is a puzzle game, and this is basically those string puzzles. If you remember those from the Artifacts Monday games and other games where they're thrown in as kind of like a little, here's this variety type puzzle. Is where you have to, there's a certain number of blocks on the screen, and you have a couple different colors, and the colors are not, as you draw a line through the blocks, that can turn 90 degrees. You can't have them cross over one another, yet you have to fill every box in the shape. So if you know what I'm talking about, that's called a flow line puzzle, I guess. This game is that 100%, but they have kind of expanded upon it Sometimes there are pieces that serve as bridges, and those will allow you to cross over other colors, but only at that point, only at that bridge point. And it could be 2, it could be 3, depending on how they set it up. Then there's also wild card pieces, which will match any color. So you there might be multiple solutions, or it's just, you have to really think about it. What could this solution be? So that's an entire game of those types of puzzles, $2.50 down from 5. I like to chip away at it. I've got this. I'm playing it. I'm like 70 maps in again, or 70 levels in, and having a good time with it. Next up, Just Die Already. $3 down from 15.
Oh my God.
Open world, 12 to 15 hours.
You have a theme this month.
This is Goat Sim, but basically with old people. And sometimes you need to sneak through places, and the whole old person won't fit, so you just kind of smack them up against the wall so that only like their legs go through. So yeah, it's got that kind of humor. Pretty sure Elroy talked about this at some point, but good luck finding what episode that was.
Who's the developer?
So just check it out. Just Die Already. Once again, I wouldn't pay more than $5 for this, so $3 sounds about right. And lastly, an expensive game, Sonic Frontiers. This is $21 down from 60. This is a platformer open world. It's got a 4.16 star rating from 496 votes, so a lot of people seem to like this. And it's Sonic meets Shadow of the Colossus. It's an open world game, so you kind of there's big sections of this where it's open world and you're running around and you're having combat and picking up coins and things like that. And then you'll go into these challenge areas. It looks like those challenge areas are where you get to do classic Sonic type platforming. But yeah, there's combat in this game, and it's interesting. So this is the first time I've been interested in a Sonic game in a while. Still a little pricey at $21, but you might want to check it out.
All right. I found a couple that I'm excited for because I'm going to be having some people over for Memorial Day for a barbecue. And I found me some party games. Good old Jackbox Party Pack. Jackbox Party Pack 9 and 10 have been eluding me for quite a while, but they're finally on sale. 9 is $17.99 down from 30, and 10 is $20.99 down from $34.99, which I guess is their new standard pricing. But these games are worth it because we got the entire family to play, including the elder statesman of the family. Everyone has a smartphone, and they all have fun. And if you have enough people over, they can be in the audience, so everybody can always play. And the achievements are always worth high TA. And they're usually all cheesable if you want to go that route, opening up several browsers on your computer, incognito, and rigging some stuff. So,
Whoa.
not that I would. What?
Open up incognito tabs? Ooh. What are you trying to hide from your wife?
It's not the box we're talking about. This is Jackbox. Jackbox Party Pack, JMO. And I love those games. If you haven't noticed. What games do you love?
All right. Well, I've got the first one I've got is Greedfall, the DLC Gold Edition, which comes with the game and the 2 DLC packs, is $9.99, down from $39.99. So, any action RPG fans out there looking for their next fill of that genre, Greedfall seems to be in there. I think they're coming out with a sequel here soon. The Outer Worlds board approved edition, which also is the game and the 2 DLC packs. I had a lot of fun with this game. I'm going to get the Spacer's Choice sometime in the future so I can replay it again. But for now, you can get the board approved edition for $24.99, down from $49.99. The DLC packs don't go on sale too often, and they don't really go too cheap. So if you want to just get everything in one go, definitely check that out. And the last one, I had a lot of fun with Planet Coaster, and I'm almost done with it. And it is $12.49, down from $49.99. It's the lowest price ever. Any management fans out there, or just want to create coasters and have fun, pretty cheap price there.
You do love those games.
I do.
All right, do we want to quickly talk about Game Pass comings and goings?
Of course.
Wild West, that's your domain. I know you missed it last week.
I know, because we've got a big one. We've got Senua's Saga Hellblade 2's now out on Cloud, PC,
Whoa.
and Xbox Series X and S. It looks like it's very similar to the first one, 6 to 8 hour completion. I've already saw one of my friends completed it, saw some other people completed it, so not too long. But I am looking forward to checking this out probably next month, maybe the month after, once I get done with the Gamerscore month, and we'll see how things go. I'm looking forward to it. I enjoyed the first game quite a bit. So, any of you guys going to check out Hellblade 2?
I started the first one like 3 different times. I don't even think it's on my tag yet.
Yeah, I think I'll play it.
It's very cool.
I'm going to go through the stack of the first one. I already completed one of them. I want to do the second one, the second in the stack, and then I'll play Cinema Saga 2.
That's right. I forgot the first one had a stack. I need to go back and do that too.
I think I was reading the second one was just as good. Like the sound is amazing, but the
Yes.
combat is just not. Is still kind of shallow.
Yeah, the reviews I've seen said if you like the first, you'll like the second. If you thought the first was middle, you'll think the second's middle, and if you didn't like the first, then probably you're not gonna like the second. But it's good to have those kind of bite-sized games. We don't all need a big games coming out all the time.
Perfect Game Pass games, though.
Yep.
Perfect.
Also out now, we have Chants of Sonar on cloud, console, and PC. Adventure game. I think there's some puzzle elements in there as well, and it's 8 to 10 hours. So
It is mostly all puzzle. Just so you know, I don't know. TA knows what they're talking about. It is mostly a puzzle game.
Yeah, I was reading
There's
a little
no
blurb
action.
about it.
I can't think of any action in the game so far. It's all puzzle.
Oh, have you started it?
Yeah, I put a couple hours into it. I think I put 2, maybe 3 hours. I was tempted to talk about it this week, but I want to put a little more time into it before I do.
All right. I was going to ask you how it is, but I will wait until you get some more time in it and maybe do it in a showcase in the future.
Spoiler, it's not adventure.
We also have NHL 24 on cloud now on EA Play. So that's the sports and hockey game, Koosh's favorite. Immortals of Avium on EA Play now. So that's cloud, PC, and Xbox. First-person shooter. I hear it's like shooter without guns. You use magic instead. 30 to 35 hours. Some middle reviews. Possible achievements not unlocking when they're supposed to. So it looks kind of the genre looks interesting to me. I might check that one out in the future. Galacticare, cloud, PC, and Xbox management game, sim game where you kind of take care of aliens and it's in space and everything. That looks a lot of fun. So I'm eager to. I need to go check that one out. Put that up real fast. Okay, we also have Haunty on cloud, console, and PC. Adventure game is also out now. Coming on May 28th is Moving Out 2 on cloud, console, and PC. Party game, 15 to 20 hours. Possible stack, maybe, hopefully. Koosh is hoping. May 30th, we have Humanity on cloud, console, and PC. Puzzle game, about 16-ish hours there. Possible like Lemmings for those who are interested in that. Lords of the Fallen on cloud, PC, and Xbox. It's the new one. It's an action RPG, 80 to 100 hours. Yeah, I mean, Lords of the Fallen, if you like that kind of stuff. And then I know I heard last week that Elle is very much looking forward to Rolling Hills Make Sushi, Make Friends.
Yes,
cloud, console, and PC.
I want a Connect version. I want a Wiimote version. I want it all.
Are we going to simul that then? Because I love sushi, so
I want a scratch and sniff version would be even better.
Just have sushi delivered to your house while you're playing the game.
Yes, please.
And then Katy Perry comes out on June 4th with Firework, right?
Yes.
Uh,
And Nate's still telling me it has nothing to do with fireworks. He's very disappointing. I maintain it should come out on July 4th, not June 4th.
Just trying to set expectations.
Yeah, they need to delay that for a month.
Yeah,
So it looks
come on.
like it's an adventure horror game according to Steam. So definitely does not pull off Firework vibes.
What? Oh, Nate's favorite. He'll tell
Leaving
us how
Game
good it is.
Pass on May 15th is Chicory, A Colorful Tale on Cloud Console and PC. Koosh talked about that before. He loved it. I'm sure all of y'all will like it. Puzzle adventure game, 15 to 20 hours. Get going if you want to get that done. Far World Pioneers on Cloud Console and PC. Sandbox game, 6 to 8 hours. Koosh's favorite JoJo's Bizarre Adventure All-Star Battle on Cloud Console and PC. Fighting game, 20 to 25 hours. I think he rated that a 5.5 out of 5. Loved it so much.
Regretting starting that one.
Pac-Man Museum Plus, Cloud Console and PC. I hear that's a difficult one, so you better get going and put lots of hours because it's 60 to 80 hours. Little Witch in the Woods on Cloud Console and PC, adventure game. No achievements yet. Maybe they're coming out after that leaves Game Pass, or are they just hoping it will?
Yeah, we have no idea.
Yeah, no idea.
I haven't seen anything.
And Railway Empire 2, Cloud Console and PC, a management simulation game, 60 to 80 hours. I'm just going to buy it sometime when it goes on sale because I still need to get the first one. So that is your Game Pass news.
Wow. Remember we were worried in January? When was it? The news is all back.
Yeah, not too much
All right.
leaving.
No. We're still worried. And I'm worried about Brad Camp because I get the feeling it's just going to be a bunch of Wild West and nothing else. So you could start. I'm ready.
I see I got shifted away from Gamerscore, so I didn't talk about myself that much. Anyways, in completions, Stega
Yeah.
with 300 completed games, J Block with 500 completed games, Scaravese with 700 completed games, Lucas 1987 with 3,300 completed games, and I completed 1,100 and 1,150 games.
Well, you forgot to say that you went up by over 50 games in this period. Back a pat. Next up, streaks. In streaks, we have Sir Polygon with 50 days, Freemhole with 50 days, Johnny Delicious with 300 days, Henky XD with 400 days, Daytime Comet. I don't believe I've said that one too often. 400 days. Junior Mario 2004 with 700 days. See Drunken Monkeys with 1,050. Surf Biscuit with 1,700. Unky Tim Fu with 2,750. Prue with 3,000. And Mad Eye Pad Eye with 4,100 days. In Gamerscore, we have Jeremy DJ with 650,000. We have Freaky Aro and Nightwolf, both with 700,000. We have Bastion Reader with 850,000. Wild West 08 with 1.3 million. Rocker Dude also with the 1.3 million. Then we have Wild West 08 pulling ahead of Rocker Dude with the 1.4 million. We then have Isrit 102 with the 1.6. RPG Davey with the 1.6 as well. And Toadstyle Venom with 1.7 million Gamerscore.
In leaderboards, Bomber 37, it's in the top 5,000 of TA leaderboard for RPGs. Grotesque Axe, great tag, is now in the top 500 of Ohio TA leaderboard. Junior Mario 2004 is in the top 200 of Gamerscore leaderboard for Xbox One and top 100 of Europe Gamerscore. By 571 is now in the top 10 of Wisconsin Gamerscore leaderboard for Dance. I'm pretty sure What the Fug is going to be surpassing that very soon. He's going to be number 1. He's the Dance King of Wisconsin. And Magic Monkey is second in Europe completed games leaderboard for Monkey. Oh no, but not. I lied. He's number 1 in Europe completed games leaderboard for Party. That's pretty incredible. We had some Noteworthy brag camp tags. We had a Wakapel in his never-ending quest to be number one in battle royale games. He is number one in Gamerscore by 5 Gamerscore.
Oh, nice.
He's got 25,905, and next is 25,000. He's number one in Achievements 1, TA difference, and TA as well, which is very funny. He's only second in completed games. Come on, man. Get better. Sarge Cassidy completed Goat Simulator for Xbox 360. I commend that because I can't do those stupid flying ones. I'm going to have to try those again. There's a new Gems of War title update that just dropped. That is never ending. That game had a whopping 25 gamer score added to it. It is now worth 4,080 gamer score. I think they just throw darts, right? And just come up with numbers for these things.
Just have a bunch of numbers on the wall and they just throw a dart at it. Oh, that sounds good.
In the community, I know Isrit was number 5. And woo, Feel Better Buddy is number 1. He said the update took 2 whole minutes. I imagine that's something that you have to had previously done, and then you just load up the game and then do something or other. I know nothing about that game, so I know it eats your life. We had Mental Knight, who's trying to get kicked out of the Discord. He says, last I checked, I really don't like Mayo, and I kind of like Miracle Whip. And he wanted me to read this for some reason. So I hope everyone sends you nasty, nasty letters and texts and DMs. And last but not least, we have Skeptical Mario, who hit a triple milestone thingy at the same time. He completed Gears of War 2, and that was his 400th completion.
Oh, nice.
And that brought him to 90% completion. So I love when people do these things.
I love it when a plan comes together.
Yeah, that's from Bluey, right?
Yes.
Definitely.
No, that's Peppa Pig, actually.
Oh,
I'm kind of
they're not the
disappointed.
same
I'm
thing?
kind of disappointed in you. I was hoping you would have done that whole segment with beep boops and everything.
It's beep boops.
That's how he.
Beep boop.
That's how he communicates in the contest channel because he's R2D2.
Because he's the R2,
That's
R2D2.
right.
Yeah. Forgot about that. I'd love to hear about Mario's Gears of War 2 journey. I could imagine him doing it like I used a turbo controller to get the 100,000 kills. That was like in the infancy of using Hori Pad, where you have to have like your rubber bands just right and the turbos just right, and you do the Brumac and you just do the same level over and over, and you're killing as much as you can overnight. I imagine he just did a few legit kills every day. I'd love to hear about it.
Yeah, that's what I did. I ended up just doing it a little bit each day. I didn't have a turbo
Yeah.
controller.
That same method though,
Yeah, same method though.
because you're like, oh, cool, you could do campaign kills and versus kills. That'll be much easier.
Yeah,
And then when you realize that when you're done with everything, you have 1,000 out of 100,000.
yeah, yeah. You get to the end, you're like, oh, I've
Not.
got 3,000 kills, and you need.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
100,000.
But at least it tracked, right? I believe it tracked, and then
It did track. Yeah,
and
Gears had great tracking.
I would still prefer that. I don't care if they would have had like 1,000,000 kills or something, for Series 3. I would have rather do that than all that crap for Series 3 and 4 and 5 and all that. So
All right. We talked about a lot of things. We are ready for Hellblade 2. We are ready for Memorial Day barbecues. And we are ready to jump in the pool. Well, I'm ready for these things anyway.
that's right. Memorial Day's Monday.
Yes. Memorial Day podcasts will be probably food related. And just putting that out there now. And I will be asking Nate facetiously if he puts Old Bay on his burgers and hot dogs and etc. And he will be telling me legit what he does, and I will be blown away.
Mhm.
So I
Potato salad?
yeah.
Old Bay on potato salad?
That's this
Uh-oh.
makes sense. Yeah.
Oh God damn! Stop! My taste buds ruined. All right, guys. Thank you for joining me this week. Thank you for joining us, to the listeners, and class is dismissed. Goodbye.
Bye.
See ya.
Welcome to the 23rd episode of One List, Two List, Bad List, Good List, where we take a look at two very different achievement lists of games. One that is Awesome Possum, and one that is Dead Possum in a Dumpster on a Hot Summer Day. What makes these good lists good? What makes these bad lists bad? That's what we will discuss on One List, Two List, Bad List, Good List. I am your host, Elroy OMJ, and I am joined today by an individual who waited until after 7 p.m. eating time to have fun raiding the castle. He is Inigo Montoya.
And as always, we are going to have fun storming the castle.
Indeed. I just loved it. Your autocorrect when you told me anytime after 7 p.m. eating time.
Right.
Instead of Eastern time. It was really fun.
I had a friend send me a meme the other day. It was a Christopher Guest meme, and the six-fingered man from the Princess Bride, and the meme pointed out that he had 11 fingers in the Princess Bride, and in Spinal Tap, he was famous for saying, "This one goes to 11."
Wow.
Yes.
I think that's his power number, man.
Yeah, little bit of irony mixed in there, I guess.
Yeah, indeed.
Appropriate word. But I found it to be very interesting because I never actually put those two together.
Yeah, I didn't either.
That he had 11 fingers, and
crank it up to an 11.
Yep, and he was famous for saying this one goes to 11.
Yeah, that's cool, man.
Right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So this is the first time we've been recording together in a while. So just want any wonderful updates you want to share or anything?
I'm just working on my first heel turn. That's what I'm working on. You know, I'm working that heel element so that Elroy is, will become my arch enemy before too long.
That's
because I keep putting everything off, and you get frustrated at me, and like, hey, it's all part of the gimmick, okay? That just understand that it's all part of the heel turn, okay?
I'm not at all going to bring that up in my pick. I assure you, I would never dream of bringing up something that was affected by the delay, if you will. But nah, you're a busy guy. I get it. No worries. So
yeah, so we just recently got a new pup to the house, so I had to install a little bit of extra fencing in the backyard to kind of help keep him from his poor decision-making abilities.
If you find a way to solve puppy's poor decision-making, you can make a lot of money if you could find a permanent fix for that. So,
yeah, I think this one may be a long-lost cause. I think he will forever have some poor decision-making. He's obsessed with our neighbor's yard. Since he went over there and terrorized them one night and had to wake everybody up, including their dogs and everything, at 8 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was fun. That's always a good way to get into your neighbor's good graces is when your dog is screaming at their sliding door in their backyard.
That's yeah. See, now as one who has naughty dogs, I must ask: is he going over the fence, under the fence, or through the fence?
Through the fence.
Oh, okay. That was the last trick my dogs pulled. All right.
Yes, he so he weighs roughly about 5 pounds. And realized that we have a little barrier set up on the lower part of the fence because my neighbor, it's not a privacy fence.
Yeah.
It's just a metal kind of rail fence, and he realized he could jump over that little barrier. and made it into the backyard, squeaking between the two posts
Okay.
and or the two railings. And he's small enough to do it, and he was smart enough to jump over the barrier, which sat almost about 18 inches off the ground.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
we use that to keep our Pomchi, who's never tried to jump over it, out of the neighbor's backyard. But he decided, on his first night here, he was going to try it, and he pulled it off. So I had to shore that up and then install some more fencing going along the backyard. Keep him from going to the top of the hill.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it could be worse. You could have a box wire that jumps 6-foot fences. So that's that's what I was dealing with. So yeah.
I'll tell you what, if that one can jump a 6-foot fence, I'll tell you what, my hat will go off to him. That's one hell of a jump. I don't think I could even be bad out of the
yeah, I mean, that's kind of the way I looked at my dog. I was like, "Holy, for what?" Like, it just blew my mind. I didn't even know that was a thing, that a dog could jump a 6-foot fence. Like,
that's amazing.
I wouldn't have believed it if I hadn't seen it. Like, I was mowing out front, and I look over, and I'm looking my dog in the eye, and then she just comes right on over. So she like jumped over, got her like front haunches over it, and then she just pulled herself up and over. And I was just like, wow, that's some athleticism.
Sounds like it's got a little bit of
some athleticism
into it.
Yeah, it was crazy. Anyway,
bears will do stuff like that.
Yeah. So yeah. Anyway, so anyhow, it's great. Yeah, we've already been chatting for almost 45 minutes.
Right.
It's always great to catch up with you. So thanks again for joining me. So,
and thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Well, I think you're up first then.
Okay, so like the society we live in these days, we're gonna lead off with the negative. Okay.
Well, it is one list, two list, bad list, good list. So
yes, and this is a bad list.
Well, there you go.
Yeah,
it's their fault. It's their fault.
I started to realize kind of early in this game, and yes, you're 100% right. It is my fault. It is a game I purchased with my hard-earned money.
No, I said it was their fault. Their fault. They should have made a better list. Yeah.
Well,
you're the victim here, Inigo. I'm on your side.
Okay, yeah, you're right. I probably was victimized here.
But that being said, it is your fault. So
it is, because I had a chance to look at the achievement lists beforehand. True Achievements gives us this lovely tool where we can kind of scout stuff out before we start playing it, and I threw all caution to the wind on this one and had a weird feeling about it, but against my better judgment, I proceeded because anybody that knows me knows I don't play good games to begin with. Like, that's just not in my arsenal. If anybody's come here, trying to scope out some kind of AAA game or anything, or it's probably not going to come from me because I just don't play.
Well, this is going to be a very small audience then, because me, I don't either. So
yeah,
this is going to be the most niche of segments ever. Then
it really is, and it amazes me that people listen to this segment based on the fact that neither of us we have very similar gaming styles.
Indeed.
So we're going to start off with Hotel Transylvania's Scary Tale Adventure.
Oh man, that was not on my bingo card. Okay.
No, and and judging by the stats on TA, so this is a game that was published by the famous Outright Games publishers who do a lot of the licensed stuff these days. Developed by Drekar Studio, never even heard of them. So again, this is licensed off of a movie, which already you're kind of treading into some bad area. The game's not going to be quality, but that's not what we're here to talk about, is the quality of the game. Nope. We're here to talk about the achievement list. Okay.
Yep.
So this game committed one thing I don't like about achievement lists, and this is the first thing, and I know this is going to sound so petty, but they're guilty of the all caps achievement titles.
Oh yeah, that bothers me.
It bothers me, something wicked, and I don't know why it shouldn't, but it does.
Well, there's a couple in there that might, like, I'm just kind of scanning the list. There's one called "Where is the Hunter?" but there's a question mark and an exclamation mark. So that one I'm okay with it being in all caps. But something like "Time to bake a cake," I mean, I don't see the
Right.
urgency of time to bake a cake or Granny's house. Yeah.
You're right. There's a time and a place for all caps.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know, like and every achievement name should not be all caps. Like
Agreed.
it's
I'm with you 100% on that one.
so it's already kind of like on the like the crap list to begin with.
Yeah, it's a
Just
bad
based off
start.
of
It's a
that.
bad start. It's a bad start.
It is. It's a bad start. Like without even looking at the descriptions of the achievements, you're already kind of turned off.
Yep.
Or at least I am. And,
I'm with you on that. Yep.
and then you get into the achievement list and it's just completely uninspiring. And a lot of them are just, your typical, run of the mill story related, like complete, this chapter, complete this chapter, blah, 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 blah.
Mm.
But there's no miscellaneous achievements in the game. There's like nothing that says, you know what, like, let me try something different or let me find an Easter egg or something, like anything that kind of, because ultimately a good achievement list should kind of have you try a little bit of everything, maybe have you play outside the box a little bit, maybe have you try a different game mode. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mhm.
this is um this is void of all that. It
Well,
is just
if I
very
could
uninspiring.
if I could
Yeah,
play devil's advocate on this, what about
sure.
the coins and the cards? Where does that play in? Because I see a couple of collectible ones where you have to get all the cards, you got to get all the
Yes.
coins. So
So
that doesn't
so
help in the exploration of the game.
um it becomes more troublesome, the whole coins thing,
Mm-hmm.
because you have to get every single coin in a level. It's a pretty linear game. There's not a lot of exploration, but some of the coins are just like kind of hidden in places. You're looking around just for the sake of looking around at that point. And I those achievements really rub me the wrong way because each level had 1,000 coins in it.
Oh God, 1,000?
Yes.
How many levels are there?
I believe 13 total because
Oh
there's three different
God.
stories. So
That's
you play
brutal.
one story which has 5 levels, another story that has 5, and then like a bonus like 3-level story mode. And it was just getting the coins it didn't feel like you were exploring. It felt like a task,
It sounds like a chore, man. That's
And
terrible.
it was because if you finish the level and it showed you got 990 coins, you're like,
Mhm.
crap, now I gotta replay the level. And like you said, it became more of a task than it did. I want to explore what the developers put in because
Mhm.
there was nothing there, like nothing to even look at. Maybe I'm just really being harsh on the game, but like you said, the list just, you know, it just felt dead and lifeless.
So, how
And
far
then the entire card, I'm sorry, the entire card collection thing,
uh-huh.
you bought the cards with all the coins that you collected.
Did you
You
have to
didn't
have all
actually.
did you have to have all 13,000?
No, which ironically was just as strange. You would think that
Yeah.
they would balance that out. To buy every card, you had to collect every coin.
Oh,
But
well,
that
that's
was
a
not the
good thing.
case. You ended up having like 7,000 coins left over, which made the task of finding the coins feel even that much
Oh,
more
dang. The
stupid.
Oh, dang, yeah, so, yeah, I'm seeing, yeah, that you have to that's bad, man.
Yes.
Uh, Maybe somebody's just really bad at math when they made this, and maybe they thought they just forgot to carry a 1 or a 0 or something, I don't know, so how far into this, were you filled with regret?
It was like after probably the second chapter. I was just like,
After the
this
first
is
1,000 coin adventure?
yeah, I was like, this is just stupid beyond belief, um and again, the target audience for a game like this would be a child, like let's just be honest, it's a
Uh-huh.
Hotel Transylvania, it is a kids movie. To my understanding, I think there's two of them, two movies that were released. I know I've seen one of them, and
I know there's 2
I
video
think
games, but I don't know much about them, to be honest.
yeah, and I know I've seen a Hotel Transylvania movie, and honestly, it wasn't really that remarkable. I don't remember it like I remember watching The Incredibles or even a countless number of other children's movies that are actually pretty good. You know what I'm saying?
Right, yeah.
This one didn't, sear itself into my memory as being, wow, that was a good movie. Or like Toy Story. Toy Story is a good
Yeah.
movie.
Let's see.
And this Hotel Transylvania was not like that after I'd seen it. But it is geared towards children.
Right. See, I'm exempt. I don't have kids, so I don't have to watch. I'm good. I don't have to watch any of that crap. I don't know anything about kids programming these days, man.
And in all fairness, and this is probably going to make me sound weird, I don't have children either. But I still have seen. I like cartoons. I mean, I like animation.
Yeah.
I watch a lot of the adult animation stuff. American Dad and Family Guy. Bob's Burgers, things like that. But I don't mind watching some of the I guess the ones that are geared towards children because sometimes they are actually pretty good. Like I said, The Incredibles was, I thought, fantastic.
Oh yeah, I did see that.
Yeah, and like I said, some of them are pretty good. But now when I'm thinking about this as geared towards children, I'm thinking, what are we kind of like? Because I always view video games as a nice little gap because contrary to what a lot of mainstream may think, I do think video games have a lot of value add to it, and it does help you actually kind of think. It helps with some of your motor skills. I don't think it's all negative. A lot of your mainstream want to kind of paint Call of Duty, whatever, and it's teaching everybody to turn their brains into jello. But there's a lot of fantastic video games out there that actually can help improve, and kind of teach along the way.
In moderation, of course.
In moderation, like everything else.
Which is none of the people listening to this. So
no, or the two people hosting.
Yeah. Moderation went out the dang door a long time ago, man. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I mean, looking at our Gamerscore, yeah, moderation is.
It's not our strongest suit for sure.
No, so we should definitely not be preaching any form of moderation towards anybody.
Oh yeah, so like if I had kids, like what am I supposed to say? You need to limit your gaming time.
Right,
Dad.
As you sit down and play the game.
What are we talking about again? Yeah, I'm sure my kid would see me as a raging hypocrite. So yeah.
Oh gosh, yes.
Yeah, so that's that's just not. Yeah, that's not conducive. So
exactly.
Yeah.
But for this game, even for the target audience, I'm like, this game adds no value even for a child to play it because there's nothing that they're going to learn. It just feels like a mundane task. It feels like you're setting somebody up. And listen, if I rub anybody listening the wrong way for what I'm about to say, I'm not necessarily including anybody, but you're setting them up to be like a career gas station attendant. It's just a mundane task that you go and do every day, or a paper file or something like that. I'm sorry if anybody listening to this. I'm not trying to really impugn you, and you probably actually do have a really good job.
And you probably make more money than I do.
Yeah, I was just thinking the same thing. I'm like,
pay the teachers.
I probably need to change careers at this point. I probably need something a little bit more mundane. But, or like you said, like the desk clerk that's just, filing papers all day long, like that, it's not, I guess, encouraging, the youthfulness to kind of think or, kind of be a little bit braver, or like we were talking about before the show, just doing something, that you're passionate about. Like this game is not going to bring any of that.
There's no passion in Hotel Transylvania.
Yeah, and it starts with the achievement list. It's so lazy and uninspiring.
Yeah, it doesn't. Would you believe you have the highest score of any of my friends in this game?
Yeah, and after looking at it, considering the game is not a terribly long completion.
Yeah.
by any stretch. Okay.
Well, that was one question I was about to curtail into, which is, well, A, you're the only friend of mine that has this on their tag, and B, the completion estimate's at 12 to 15 hours, but yeah, I see you took a few hours more than that.
Yes. Okay. So one thing,
Just a few.
yeah, one thing Mr. Montoya is guilty of on more than one occasion is going to bed with his Xbox on. That is a bad habit of mine. You know, the 83 cents of my power bill every month that I drive up is, you know, I'm guilty of that. I will say the 12 to 15 hour estimate is probably correct if you turned your Xbox off.
All right, so let's
Don't look
do
at my estimate. Okay?
let's do the math here. So if you go to sleep, how many hours per night do you typically rest?
I
7?
aim for 8. I
8?
aim for
Okay.
8, but yeah, sometimes it comes in at 7.
Okay. I think the math is checking out here. So that means if you take out the 15 where you were actively playing the game, let's just say you took the upper end. So that would bring about 6.5 times that you left it on overnight.
Yeah, I think I
Right.
didn't turn it off for the entire week that I was playing it because I was kind of like, you know, and I told you, like, I fell asleep in my chair that one night,
Yeah.
and I think I was actually playing this game when I fell asleep in the chair.
Yeah.
So, you know, and I just didn't turn off my Xbox because I've been working on that fence, and you know, I just get real tired, and I'm just like knocked out, zonked.
Well, okay, let's take it a step further. So I went ahead and just thought I'd see who. There's 301 people who have played this game.
Which should have been the first red flag.
Yeah. But 77 have completed it. Now,
that's your second red flag.
So I just couldn't help but to click on the completions and see what the time played was. And would you believe that you topped the chart, man? You got number
Yeah,
one.
and maybe
Yeah,
I was
60.
doing that on purpose.
Oh, well, the funny thing to me is who number 2 is. Number 2, logging in with 56 hours and 34 minutes, is a gamer by the name of Gaming Grandpa. So, great Gaming Grandpa beat you by 4 hours, man.
Oh, have I officially become a gaming grandpa?
I don't know.
Well,
maybe I don't know if you should read too much into it, because third place with only 38 hours was Goat Burglar. So I don't know if we can read too much into the names. Maybe.
Yeah, I'm gonna try not to. Okay.
Yeah.
But, gosh, do I feel old now.
Gaming Grandpa, topped by
Right.
only by Inigo Montoya 80. There you go. So I would say you're the. It's time to write the walkthrough or something. I think you're the go-to
The foremost expert on it.
Yes, I mean, you've had the most face time with this game. It's time to give back. So,
right. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So, okay. So I only got one more question for you. I think maybe. I don't know. So, are you one of the ones that are offended by the number of points in some of these achievements, the gamer score, I should say?
No, but it is a valid point you're bringing up. I am not one of those because I am a completionist.
Yes.
So uneven numbers never bother me, like they do some folks.
There's some weird. That is a weird number in there. So I'm doing a little quick research here, but
and I didn't do enough research to understand why they chose that number. Because all their uneven achievements are scored in 62.
So, well, here you go. Just, I don't know what this means. Take it for what it's worth. Looking on True Achievements, and I go into the achievements list, and then you go to more filters, and you can choose Gamerscore. And if you look at the Gamerscore, like, it does not have 62 listed. So I don't know how you're supposed to search. I was going to see how many achievements are worth 62. So I guess I got to go not divisible by 5 and just scroll, which is going to take forever. But I don't know that there's any other achievements that are worth 62, but I'm doing some research. I'll get back to you here. Oh, man. Okay. Oh, that was quicker than I thought. So would you like to know the results of my wonderful, okay, there it is.
Your in-depth analysis?
Yes. There's 20 achievements on TA, or listed on TA. There's 20 achievements that have 62 Gamerscore. Would you believe
That's interesting, because that's just, to me, a very strange number to land on.
Right. And of that, it appears 5 of them are
5 of them
are in your game.
alone.
So the other 15, in case you're curious, there's one game that just really rocks the 62 with 12 of the remaining 15, and that is DreamWorks Trolls Remix Rescue.
And that's interesting, because that
It's
is
a
the same publisher I know of right off the top of my head.
So it looks like that's their thing, is that they just...
Oh no, that's Game Mill. You said DreamWorks Troll
Remix? Trolls Remix Rescue. There's 12 in that one. So they really hit it pretty high. And then the only other one that I'm seeing is a game called Clousy. Never heard of it, but...
Never heard of that either.
Clousy. It's like, I don't know, CL.
See, I thought you were talking about the other DreamWorks game, because Outright published another DreamWorks Dragons game, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay. Yeah, this one...
When you said DreamWorks, that's what kind of triggered me. But
yeah, Clousy is not a very popular game. It's got 78 people have got it on their tag. So yeah, it's a small one. So anyway, I just thought that was interesting. So
that is interesting.
Yeah. So I really don't have anything else to add to this train wreck that you've brought us.
Yes, it's awful. And obviously for the folks that are averse to uneven achievement scores, definitely stay away from it, because I don't know if it's a game you're going to want to power through to complete.
Right. Don't do this to yourself. Take a step back.
Just
learn from your mistake.
Yes.
All right. Well, shall we wash that away with a good list, perhaps?
Yeah, we need some good stuff going on.
Oh man, well, we might be in the wrong spot. This might be the loosest grading scale I've ever used, but we'll see here. Okay. So, my good list. My good list is a wonderful beat 'em up. That should not come as any surprise. And I know, it's shocking. And it is much like you, with your being the foremost expert in this area. At the time that we were supposed to record, I was the first completion and the only completion on this game. But since somebody just had to drag their feet, just had to drag on, it is there's now 3 of us. But I'm still first, but there's now 3 of us. However, I have watched my 4,300 TA in the game shrink about half of that. So it's only worth like 2,600 now or something like that. So it would have been much more, or 2,700. It would have been much more spirited had I, been able to boast that I was both the first and the only. But I'll just hold on to the first. So
in all reality, we all thought that I was making the heel turn, when in fact you are now making the heel.
I was going to basically boast about this, and but no, I just can't. I mean, 3 people. I mean, what am I? It's just not the same. So anyhow, the game.
No longer prestigious.
Yeah, it's not. I just don't feel it anymore. I mean, I still like the game and all, but it's just, it's just.
I gotta find a way to make it up to you.
You just, how some people are the wind beneath your wings. you just took the wind out of my sails. See, you had the opposite effect. So the game is a wonderful game called Knights of Braveland. So it is.
Hopefully, the achievement list is more inspiring than the name.
Well, I don't know. Maybe it is. I don't know. It's very vague, this name. But
Yeah,
we'll just wait until my rationale. And it's okay. So this game is probably the newest game that I've ever talked about on a segment, in the sense that it only came out this month, and it's a cool little game, and it's got 4.5 stars. And I haven't even rated it. I would give it a 5, so I'm gonna rate it right now. And it's 65 tracked gamers, 3 completions instead of 1, and it is a beat 'em up through and through. But there's some other elements to it. So this game is basically you start in like a castle, like a mini games, and you're tasked with bounties on different boss characters. So you work your way up. There's like, they come in groups of 3. So there's like the outlaws, and then there's the goblins. And so like if you beat the first goblin boss, you can fight the second goblin boss, and then when you beat that one, you can take on the third one, and it unlocks the next one each time. And so it's progression and everything, and you can replay against old bosses and get more coins and build up your character. So to me, I feel like it's like, isn't that like roguelite or something like that? I don't ever really know what that.
I was just kind of glancing at some of the achievements, and the achievements kind of hint that it is in that
Is it?
realm.
Okay. Yeah, I mean,
of the roguelite, where it sounds like, like you kind of have like different runs, so to say.
Yeah. So each run that you would go through is different. So you start off, and so it's like I don't know what you call it. Like the map view is similar to that of like Super Mario Brothers 3. I don't know what you call that view, but where you have little tiles, and then you move to one of a different tile, and you'll have a choice of going either this direction or this other direction. And so each one is like a different random event. And so if you quit out, it's going to be a completely different map with different tiles on it. So you may get good tiles, you get bad tiles. And each tile may not be a battle. It could be a battle. It could be a chance event where you might get a chest, or you might take damage, or there's a lot of luck involved into it. So to me, it was kind of a weird game in the sense of it's a beat 'em up. There's like roguelite elements to it, but there's also, I don't know, is it card and board game and card game? I don't know exactly how you define those yet. I haven't looked at the genres of that, but it's like you basically are rolling dice a lot, and then if you get, if it comes up, it's not like 1 through 6, but it's like, good or bad. And so there might be 4 good outcomes on there and 2 bad outcomes. And so if it comes up with a good outcome on the top, then you get a bonus of it. If you don't, then you either have to go into a battle, or you lose health, or something bad happens. And so there's like that element to it.
That almost sounds, and again, this is way above my pay grade, and I'm probably
right.
Overkicking my coverage here.
Yeah.
But it almost sounds like a turn-based.
It's not. It's
No?
not turn-based, because once you get into the battle, it's just free for all. So there's no turn-based. Yeah. So there's no actual fights that take place with the dice. It would just be, the outcome is, you fell on a spike, and so you lost 10% of your health, and then it's over. And then the next battle, you just lost health that you would have had otherwise. So but there's other ones. There's also cards involved, in the sense that they show you 4 cards. So like 2 of them they call blessings, and then 2 of them are curses. So they show you what they are, and then they flip them over, and then they do like the little, I don't know what it's called, a little shuffle, like what you see on the streets, where they, like the shell game, I guess, if you call it that, where it's like, it's like, oh, you got to follow the card. And it's actually tougher than it sounds like. It's challenging. It wasn't, sometimes when they do those type of things in video games, it's like, Yeah, that was pretty lame. It was pretty obvious, I barely even had to look at it. But no, this one, man, you had to really follow it and to get the blessing or the curse. But yeah, so there's like card elements to it. And might I add, in case now that more people have finished it, I'll tell you the dirty little secret in case you want to finish this game. Saves coming. Okay, so in case you don't ever think to try that, just do that. It makes the game so much easier. It took me, I got through my first run like all the way through the main boss before I discovered that, and I was like, oh my gosh, I was making this so much more challenging than it needed to be. But yeah, you can, yeah, like it saves, like you'll learn where it saves, and so you can just quit out and then just retry until you get a good outcome. And if you're in a battle, like one bad battle could just wreck your entire run, and so you basically can just quit out, just dashboard in the middle of the fight if it's not going well, and then you can go back. But it'll be the same battle. You can't like reset the battles, but you'll know kind of more what to expect and where the enemies kind of are going to appear, and it helps a lot. So yeah, so if you're any interest in this game, make sure you take heed to that advice. But yeah, it's a good game. It's solid. It's I don't know. It's just a good beat 'em up. I don't know. I enjoyed it. It's very fair, and it's very repetitive though. Like some of the last achievements are super grindy. Like the buy 60 starter bonuses. That'll probably be your last achievement in the game, and then also upgrade 3 of the hero starter equipment to max level. All that is just grind out coins. And so you can replay bosses over and over, but each time you play it, they give you less coins each time. So that's bad.
I do have a question for you.
Yep.
What can you explain what a big failure is?
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's not Montoya, okay? We know that already, okay?
Yeah, so say you got a mirror.
See, I had to beat you to the punch.
You beat me to it, man.
Yes, I knew something like that.
You don't want to set me up too good on that,
right? But I see the achievement "Evil Fate," and it says pull out a failure or a big failure.
Yeah. Okay.
5 times in one adventure. So
yeah.
It just seems weird that there's 2 distinguishing failures that you can achieve here, and I'm curious what a big failure is.
A big failure.
Not Montoya.
Yeah. Okay. So since you stole the joke out of it, the big failure is basically like a worse outcome. So like a failure might be you lose 10% of your health. Big failure is you lost 20% of your health, or you lost 10% of your health, and you got to go into a battle or something. It's just a worse outcome than just a minor failure.
Okay.
So if you pull, like, there's some events where if you choose wrong, like there's a little bit of that Indiana Jones, choose your fate book type thing where you turn to page 53 if you want to do this, turn to page, and so, but what the funny thing is, like, there's only one outcome. It's not randomized at all. So once you've done that event, you know exactly what not to do and what to do. So that again ties to the grind and the replayability. I mean, I guess that's a good thing, but
okay.
But still, even if it wasn't, like if it was still completely random, you can still save scum. So it'd be pointless either way. But yeah. So let's say you get a bad outcome or you did the wrong thing, then there might be 3 failure cards and 1 big failure card. So instead of no blessings, or there might also be 1 blessing and then 1 big failure and then 2 failures. So like if that's that would be a situation where the reward is really good, but it's, again, it can be easy to follow the card, but it can also be really challenging. Sometimes it's somewhat easy, but other times, man, it drives you insane. And then you're just like, oh God. And then dashboard, try again. Are you kidding me? I picked the wrong dang card again. Like, it drive you crazy. So, yeah. So, the one question I had about this game that is unanswered is, why the hell would anybody buy the Ultimate Edition? Like, if you see the price point, I'm like, what is in that Ultimate? I was looking into it and I couldn't figure out what was so great about the Ultimate Edition. I guess they're
really proud of it.
They are very proud of it, yeah. And Yeah, so you can get all the achievements without buying the Ultimate Edition. There was a couple of bosses that you couldn't access without buying some DLC, but there's no additional achievements. But I guess it's possible that they're worth a lot of coins. I would have probably bought it if they were worth like an insane amount of coins. But yeah, or if it was like $1 just to break up the monotony. Because man, I'm telling you, it's a grind. Like you're gonna have to play through like so many more extra playthroughs, but I was trying to be the first one to finish it, so that's why I kept going with it. But man, it was really grindy at the end. So yeah, but yeah, so
Game is-
yeah,
would you say the game at the price point it's at is a good buy?
yeah. I mean,
'Cause it seems
it's a little
on the-
high. It's more
It does
like
seem a little on the pricier side for
I would slot it at the
for an indie game.
$10, the 10 to 15 range would be more accurate. Probably closer to 10. It's a solid game. I mean, it's well put together, and it's better than like the little $5 fares. I mean, it's kind of in the 10 to 12 range, I guess. Yeah, so
Okay.
it's a little overpriced, but not too bad. I'm sure that they'll sell you a Argentina copy for cheaper than that if you. I can probably attest to that, in fact. But yeah, that's but yeah, I haven't even talked about the achievements yet. I've been talking about this game for so long. All right, so so the good. Why is this good for the achievements? Almost all the achievements are trackable, and they actually track correctly. So that is always a nice one. So you can see it actually moving up on the time. You know, some games you wait to the end of your run and then it updates or whatever, but this game it updates as you're doing it. And there's a lot of achievements in the game that are reliant on doing something a lot of times. So, for example, pick up 2,500 coins. Uh, pick up 1,000 coins. There's one with dodging, I think. Yeah, kill enemies with a power attack 70 times, dodge 50 attacks. So each time you do it, you actually see it go up, 2%. So very easy to see where you're at with the achievements. They all work perfectly. I had no issues with the achievements, so props to them. That was pretty cool. But the main reason I chose it is a new one on this list on my rationale. I've never, we've been doing this is like the 23rd one of these, so it's hard to keep finding criteria to use to justify your picks, I guess. So this is a new one. So the main reason I chose it is because of my inner 13-year-old, and which is appropriate since we were talking a lot about wrestling before we started recording, and
hence all the heel turn references.
Yeah, indeed. And so I would argue that this game offers more blank didn't even know her achievements per dollar than any other game. So Inigo, I must ask, are you familiar with the whole blank didn't even know her? There's variations of it. And I was curious what variation you grew up with.
I think I'm familiar. I want to make sure that we're on the same page here.
Yes.
Like just where you slot in word here, hardly knew her.
Yeah.
After said word.
Yeah. So, for example, one of the achievements in this game would be shooter. Shooter didn't even know her.
Or wrecker.
Yeah.
Didn't even know her.
Yeah, wrecker.
Okay, I see where you go. Yep, we're on the same page.
Stalker. So this game has all these achievement names in there. But did you grow up with didn't even know her?
So does Grenadier fit into that as well?
That's what I was going to ask you, actually. I was like, Grenadier didn't even know her.
Didn't even know her. Okay.
Yeah, so I didn't realize there were so many variations on this. I just thought maybe it was something I didn't know how regional this was, but apparently it's very widespread, and I saw variations of I hardly knew her, or I hardly know her, I barely even knew her, or I'm sorry, I barely even know her, or I don't even know her. So
see, I'm familiar with the I hardly know her.
I hardly know her.
I think it's the one that I've probably heard used the most.
Okay, that would be a good poll, like in the in the Discord. Blank.
Right? Yeah, which variation?
Which variation
did you
grow up
with?
Are
you familiar with?
Yes. Yeah, so I grew up with didn't even know her. So yeah, all very similar. All right. So yeah, so we got Master, Trickster, Trickster 2, Trickster 3, Bachelor, Wrecker, Wrecker 2, Wrecker 3, and then of course the controversial Grenadier, and then Stalker, Bounty Hunter, and Shooter. So that's 12 out of 29 achievements that you can giggle at or yell out, "Didn't even know her," every time it pops up on your screen. So if that's what you're looking for in a game, this game has got you covered. So um that's there you go. I'm not saying this was my best effort or that my most solid pick, but most of all, I mean, I just wanted to bring that up, and that I was the first and only, well, only until a few
I
days
think
ago
with the
to finish
case
this.
that you just made, I think you just took the retail value of what you said 15 is a good buy point, and now have increased and validated the 19.99.
There you
price
go.
point,
Yeah.
just for the $5 in comic relief from the achievement itself
Just-
that you'll have with it. Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
Yes.
every time it pops up, just do yourself a favor and say, whatever the name of the achievement
Right.
is, didn't
Bounty
even
hunter.
know her. Maybe I would just get bored gaming. I do get bored gaming, watching myself game. So yeah. Anyway,
I will say
I
the
was-
achievement art's not bad.
yeah, the achievements
I
are. I
feel
mean,
like
it's pretty good. It's not
I like
bad. It's,
styles.
yeah, they tried a little bit here and there, and yeah, it's solid and all, pretty solid. No weird numbers, some good art, but yeah. The other thing I'll say about the Chivos is that I appreciate the game not making you go all the way through the difficulty scale. That's another thing. There are 3 that are skill based achievements for beating certain bosses on the veteran skill level.
Yep.
So the Skeleton King, Omnom, and Kraken. Those are the 3 main bosses. Let me tell you, man, of those 3, give me the Kraken and give me the Skeleton King any day over that dang toad, man. Omnom is this giant frog that it was my worst boss. I don't know. Maybe it's just the way I played the game, but boy, that guy was brutal, man. The Skeleton King was tame compared to him, and so was the Kraken. But Omnom is by far the worst boss in that game. It's this frog that keeps appearing everywhere, and then he brings all his little baby frogs, and they jump in a pattern. The pattern of that enemy is just annoying. Like if you stay in one place too far, they jump on you, but he keeps bringing like so many of them that you lose track of which ones are jumping where, and then there's these big frogs he spawns that like heal him. Oh, it's just awful. But so the thought of actually having to beat that guy at the highest skill level, man, I don't know that I would have finished the game, but I did go ahead and go up one whole skill level. So veteran was, as far as you had to go, and I went ahead and did the one that was after that, all the way up until the last world, just to get more coins, because I thought maybe the payoff was better for that. But the only difference between the difficulty levels is that they just take off more, health. So that's kind of annoying. But by the time you get to the highest skill level, I can't imagine how much health they take off every hit. But at the same time, you're upgrading your gear a little bit, so it's not as noticeable. But anyway, but I do appreciate them not making you beat the game on the hardest skill level. That would have been brutal. But yeah. And let's see, what else is there? And then there's this room that shows you all the random events that you've encountered and how many times you encountered each event. And it does not require you to 100% see them all, which would be so annoying, because like on the last map, which is the ice area or the undead area, I don't know, it's like undead ice area, what, I don't know. But anyway, it's like you have to go through so many maps to get there, and when you get there, it's random which events you would get. And so if you had to get 100% of all the events, oh man, that would be even worse. So I appreciate them being somewhat generous with the list. The grind was pretty bad, but it could have been worse. So there you go. They could have been jerks about it. So yeah. So in sum, I would say Knights of Braveland is a good Chivo list for any gamer. Gamer? Didn't even know her. All right, there you go. So
well played.
Yeah.
And now you got me looking at other achievement lists to see if they can fit that mold.
Man, I tell you.
Can be.
Give me more bang
utilized.
for the buck on that. All right, 12 out of
Right.
29. That's tough. That's tough to beat. I know there's probably one out there that could beat it, but I don't know if you can come up with a better one. I mean, that's almost half. So that's pretty good.
Yeah, fantastic numbers.
There you go. So anyhow, well, you got anything to add, or we gonna wrap this up?
I think we wrap this up here, and let's get into our next segment, because I think I'm gonna drop a few jaws.
Oh,
with
all
my
right.
next
So next time on One List,
it's
Two
going to be
Lists,
highly debatable. Yes.
Inigo's Inigo's going to make the heel turn. Bum, bum, bum.
Yes. Now it's my turn for the heel turn.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
Flip it back.
Shoot. Well, everyone, thanks for listening, and hope you enjoyed our list. And we appreciate you being a good listener. Listener.
I hardly knew her.
Oh man.
Oh, we're gonna get in so much trouble for this.
Yeah. Thanks for listening, everyone.